We're live. Okay. Uh, this is an attempt to be symptomatic, automatic, okay, while being set up. Uh, so, in my movement, the experiences have been very interesting while I've been mobile. And I've been able to counteract the um, the approach, the roach approach, uh, scatterbrain uh, going on with me. It is very, very vital to this. Again, Billy Idol, Eyes Without a Face, because this is what's been going on with this issue. Very, very lucrative and secretive administration. Again, there goes the losers, computer interrupters. Just wait to know I'm into something. They're outside right now. The mental retarded people, the black people. These are black people that are doing that. That are on some things that they feel as if is helping them. All they got to do is go outside. They get to running. You know how children are. So it doesn't upset me anymore. It just shows where I am and where they are, basically. Because I was out earlier and checked them on that. And you know how nervous children act, start just fidgeting around. And that's what they were doing, just fidgeting around with cars, starting their car, running back and forth, not knowing what to do. Because I said some things and they were upset, okay? So, when I was living on Martin Luther King in that area, and I would go to the library, the main library. And on my way home, on my way to the apartment where I was living, I would come across the overpass over by Baptist College and by the Arkansas State flag and banner. Yeah, there's an overpass right there between those two. There was always a patrol car sitting there. And I was wondering, why is a patrol car every night that I come through there sitting there? And sometimes I would wonder the first time or the second time, I thought, maybe he's in danger, he's in trouble or something, because just they would be sitting there. Because I could see them before I got to that point, like 5 minutes before I got there, I could see them. And all the way before, past them, I could see them still. And so I was wondering what was going on with them. Why are they sitting there? So I stopped wondering about that and started just dealing with the issue of why am I in the situation that I'm in. The so-called struggle, the financial struggle that I was going through. Although I knew I had answers to lots of things that were going on. Because I was dealing with them. I was pushing forward for the 1 mile green and doing a lot of other things. I'm bringing those things up, but I was doing a lot of other things, helping people, helping my family, things that people don't see materializing as far as in a material way, like cars, homes, and things like that. And I was just accused of killing some dogs and went to jail for a long time, 45 days, for no apparent reason. And there was a young man in there who couldn't read or write, but they had him in there for almost 3 years in several different counties for writing hot checks, and he couldn't read or write. They know he couldn't. So I was helping him to get letters written so he can get out of there and all of that, the hypocrisy of that. So this was in Perryville. And I was dealing with that. So one thing happened when I was there, got ready to leave. The town's grocery store burned down. It was the only one within 10 miles that they had burned down. And so, very interesting to me. And my sister was still alive at the time. And but coming past that, this patrol car was always there. So, but I found out that now I can see why it was there at the time. Okay, I could see why it was there. And with what's going on right today, and goes into me living over by UALR and being set up, them leaving the tire and wheel place open as I was coming through there to make it seem as if, I don't know what they were trying to do, but to set me up to go in there and steal those tires and rims and all of that. That's the tire and wheel place on University, okay? A lot of people go to and rent tire, I guess tires and rims. So that setup has been going on that scale, okay? And I can recognize that. And even at UAR, where the officer said I was doing some weird stuff and tried to accuse me of things that weren't true because there was someone on the bus that following this little group, this homosexual group. That's what they are, homosexuals. There's a group of them. That's a large contingent in this town. I've known that, but I was ignoring it totally, not thinking they're gonna try something with me because I'm not dealing with it, So they end up shooting a hole on the side of the vehicle of the rental car that I had. You see, so that's why I can say this person that came up behind me a few nights ago was part of that contingency. So I had an all black. I know who he was, but when he came up behind me, he had his hand in his back as if he had been trained, to do that. He was neatly dressed. I could tell someone had just dropped him off in that area to walk behind me because he ducked into that street that I was talking about a couple of days ago where the Little Rock City worker was there. And then I showed the code enforcement person on the next block over, coming through as I just left the house to go get some flowers from the Hillary Rodham Clinton Library garden that they have and some sun-gold tomatoes that they have there. And right there on the money, that's what I say, right on time, because they are monitoring my phone calls. Just illegal, peeping Tom type of things that go on. They're just right on time to try to annoy my processing. Okay? I don't have a criminal record based on them doing that, approaching me with that. And then early that morning, the helicopter was hovering over as I came out of the house in the clouds, because it was very cloudy this morning. And so I videoed that. You could hear it, but you couldn't see it because it was hovering in the clouds high enough where you couldn't see it, couldn't hear it a little bit. So all these things happened today, in this day's time. With city worker, code enforcement, and the hovering of the helicopter that I showed. I didn't show that video yet, but I showed a code enforcement officer passing by that street where all the trash is out there, homes raggedy. It's been like that for weeks. But I don't know why they're not enforcing those, having them people to get that trash out. But when I come through, they know to ride by and do their thing several times, all throughout the day. So these are things that I have to deal with, which is a beautiful thing, which is a very powerful thing that I use to power up. Again, the helicopters, several, just too many times that they're doing that childish thing. So the agitation is the manipulation, miniature aspect of such a huge $169 million budget that they have to focus their attention on someone. And I understand why, because I did write grants, for many people that used it. The Organic Mechanic University, $15 million apiece for all those organizations, and me being able to speak the language that I'm speaking to move forward, as I've shown with the Crump Garden aspect project that I sent, that the young lady and I sent in to try to help that area. Okay, and they actually had monies set forth for that area many years ago, maybe about 10 years ago, that they were going to build the area up and make it look a little bit better. I'm kind of glad they didn't, because they were going to put this circular thing like on but on 36th Street, that this circle thing where you circle around, got this thing built up there. They were going to try to put one of those things in that area on Martin Luther King and say, this is improvement, which is necessary. So that summary has some things that are summer heat and exchange that we have to deal with. So, and I like to deal with seasonal change strains, which I am. Definitely love that part of who I am. That's what powers me up most of all, the change in my body, the change in who I am, especially with my eyes cleaning and draining that I'm doing. Very, very useful. They know that, so that's why they put forth so much effort. And I would use sometimes during the times when this country was early in the years, and when black people were enslaved, and the colonies were colonies, and when the people began to look these people, the military people or the people who ran the town, in the eye, start looking them in the eye, they would know these people are getting, instead of getting indignant and looking me in the face. So they would ask for more troops from Washington to signify that, hey, let's power, let's get these people back down where they belong. And so I get phone calls from those areas that I speak of, like Washington. Just the other day, when I was speaking about powering up and me using that language, they have that information. And so they try to agitate with that information about bringing it up and using it. As a matter of fact, they had a commercial, Slim Jim, where two motorcycle cops sitting on the corner. And one of them asked about how's that hospital situation going for you. And see, I'm dealing with UAMS Hospital in Mims right now. And every time you ask him that, the motorcycle cop would rev up his engine. You couldn't really hear what the answer is. And they would play that commercial over and over when I turned the tail eye vision on as an agitation. So that gives me some things to look at and to know that they're pinpointing many things. That's how they try to wear someone down. That's what they usually do, to wear a person down who's very integral in this life. Okay, so I pay attention to a lot of those things, and again, that's very interesting, Slim Jim, because I'm, losing weight because I'm the diet that I'm on, but I'm cleansing as well, and the agitation is keeping me clean. It makes it white as snow, as it says. The light that I am is the significant thing in that. So coming into that, again, going to when I was living on Martin Luther King, the MLK Murray that I was having, going to that as well.